Hi, I'm Mel, and in this video I'm going to be telling you all about badge blankets, sometimes also known as camp blankets or campfire blankets. Welcome! Your badge blanket is your little bit of history, telling the story of your scouting and or your guiding and your other travels. You get your blanket out at every camp, add badges to it and make it your very own. Also, it helps to keep you warm around the campfire. When younger scouts or guides see the badge blanket, there are always a few inspired to go away and start their own. So, you're ready to make your own badge blanket. What to look for? Well, first you're looking for something that's going to last. You might think that Marvel fleece fabric would be great for your Beaver Scout, but are they still going to want to use that when they're 17? You can buy ready-made blankets in fleece or wool, or you can buy your own length of fleece fabric. My son's was bought from Scout Shop by his auntie, and she made my daughter's by hemming some fleece fabric. I bought my own old woolen blanket from an army surplus store. Actually, it doesn't even have to be a blanket. Some people use a jacket or hoodie, though they'll obviously fill up much faster. You can then really do what you like with it. My son has kept his as a blanket, which he uses every night with his duvet. My daughter and I have ours cut into a poncho. After that, make it your own. You can embroider. Mine's got Mel's big blanket and the date and some blanket stitching around the edge from its very first outing in 1995. You can add tape or trimmings. And of course, your badges. You can use your old activity and challenge badges from your old uniform as you move through the sections. You can add occasional badges from events you've taken part in and campsites that you have visited. You can buy badges to support fundraising. For example, we've recently had Poppy Appeal badges and Australian Bushfire badges. You can buy cloth badges from tourist shops whenever you visit somewhere new. You can swap badges with new friends. This happens a lot at jamborees. You can add your swimming proficiency badges and things like that. You can even add old neckers, although they take ages to sew on. So how to sew on your badges? Some people like to build a badge collection and then design their blanket, but most people build theirs up gradually. I start on the corners with a category, for example, activity badges on one corner, scout campsite badges on another, other towns and cities badges, and then random other badges in the final corner, and then I work in, gradually building in more badges. Others might go for the random approach. As you can see, I've also used my blanket to teach my cubs how to sew on a badge. This cub is not yet proficient at sewing, so this one needs to be removed and sewn back on. When you're sewing, choose a thread colour that isn't a million miles away from the badge edging colour. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but not too far off. Sew a couple of stitches in the same place to make it nice and firm, and then start to sew your badge. You're aiming to sew down on the outside, and then come up on the inside of your badge edge, picking up a tiny bit of blanket each stitch. You can get away with spreading your stitches as much as ½ centimetre if you're in a hurry, but I'd like my badges to still be in place for another 25 years, so I tend to go for quite close stitching. When you've finished, go over the same stitch a couple of times to make it firm, then snip the thread close to the badge. A seam ripper is the tool you need if you're removing a badge from elsewhere, for example from your uniform. The best bit about having a badge blanket for me is having a scrapbook of all my scouting and holidays. Plus, I've got something very awesome when I'm leading the campfire, and something to keep me warm when I've spent so long chatting or staring into the flames that the fire's gone down and everybody else has gone to bed. On the downside, I have stashes of badges and neckers all around my house, waiting for their turn to be sewn on. So, enjoy your badge blanket, and may it last many, many years as you carry on through your scouting and guiding.